Okay, so good morning everyone once again and welcome back in today's class. Okay, yesterday what we read specifically about the scripting part. Okay, and we try to be understand the client side script. Okay, that what do you mean by the client side script and how it executed. We see one or two options. We see one of two, what I can say, function on load, on cell edit, on change, and we identified and we see the out of the box given by ServiceNow that what are the client scripts given by the ServiceNow and how it can be utilized. In client script, the main point is that you should know the function name. Okay, let me take you a little more on the depth part of this. Yesterday when I was reading this in the evening. Okay, let me scroll down because the next topic, the next chapter is basically for the same only. This one. So here it they mentioned that what is the client script specifically, and one thing which I notice is that this thing we discussed, that on load, on change, on submit, on sell, and these are the four functions in ServiceNow. You have to be pass some value, you have to be pass some parameter, only then these functions will be worked properly in our scripting part. So if you scroll down a little bit more, function on load, as soon as the page load, this function should execute it. Okay, if I go next like this, they say on load like this, it has been up here. Okay, function on load, and here you can add your appropriate scripting logic or the scripting part, that what you want to be do when this page will be loading. I want to make a color field mandatory, I want to make priority is mandatory, then you can do this thing. Okay, if I little bit scroll down, on change means I am changing some old value with the new value, and that is the reason if you see here, this function on change function contains these parameters as well. Control old value, new value, is loading is a template. Okay, if is loading and now new value is empty, then return this. Okay, mainly if you want to understand this function, you can read these 6 points here. Okay, like control this here, that is coming something from the dynamic value. Old value, new value, understand, is loading means do you want to execute these values on the time of load as well. Okay, so this function has been given by ServiceNow. Like if I go to the next one, on submit require no parameter. Like on submit, I want a message, thank you so much for your support. So that can be on submit, I can do that part. Okay, and we can mention our code here. The only thing which is be required here is that to understand what to code, what to script, what to write. Rest things are just a one-time activity. Then on cell edit, sys id, table, old value, new value, and callback. Why they're using the sys id? Any idea why they're using the sys id? Because this is one of the point which we are going to be used in the business rules as well. Anyone has any idea that why they are using the sys id? Tanvi, Dhanashri, Arun.
Because we are working on a particular record on cell
Okay.
edit. So
Then
if we
Because
are
Anand, go ahead.
because it's a unique ID, and then when you are using the on-site edit, so this will edit the record, the unique IDs of record.
Then I did not convince. Not a valid answer. Dhanashi, why SysID?
So, sys ID is for table when we are generating. So we are working on particular table
Only for table.
on records also.
But what is the purpose? Okay, why we are using the SysID means in general, if I talk in the ServiceNow term, what is the purpose of the SysID?
It is unique.
Unique where?
Sir, this is used for identify.
Where? Used to identify where? That is my question.
From the
Do you-
database.
On the database, okay, but how? Where? You are still be very far from the reality, guys. You remember that when we do the import export via XML, there's a name Atul Grover exists in my instance, but when I bring it from Tanvi's instance, only one difference was there. That is the SysID is different. Why we have preferred SysID? Because when we move our update set from one instance to the another instance, the SysID same across the instances. If instead of SysID you mention the group name, suppose in my instance, in dev instance, I mention the group name as learn_grow. Okay, I move that code to the next environment, and Tanvi think no, learn_grow is not good. Learn grow underscore together. She changed the group name, but SysID is same. In this case, if I use the group name here, it will not work because learn grow underscore together does not exist in my code. But SysID is same. Now your name is Tanvi, my name is Atul, Arun Sharma. We guys have one identity, that is my PAN card or my Aadhaar card. Okay, you change so many addresses, but your Aadhaar card number always will be the same. People will be able to identify you. In US and in European countries, there's a number called SSIN, Social Security Identification Number. Like in India, we have an Aadhaar card now, but in other countries, they have a SSIN number. Social Security means every person who is living in that country must have a SSIN number. You change your address, you change your qualification, but your number never will change. That is the reason that they mention SysID. That always prefer to use SysID because even though you change the group name, SysID will remain always same unless you will delete that group name and create a new group name with the same name. Clear hua funda? Being a developer, being a consultant, you don't need to be think 100 miles away. Think just near about you. That what is the root of, what is the purpose of this particular thing we're using in ServiceNow. Arun, clear hua cheez ab?
Yes, sir.
Arun, Tanvi, Dhanashi,
Yes, sir.
Ashwini, clear? So why I'm saying this thing, because when you connect with your tech leads, then you can point out, hey, why are you using the group name? Why not you use a SysID? And if you are a good developer, on the first place, you will use a SysID, not the group name or something. Let me check something which if I can identify and show you. It's taking time. Okay. Anyone else instance is working? Let me give a check quick.
So same notification on my personal PD also.
Yes,
Maintenance.
it's working for me now. Okay. Let me go here. And try to show you something. We'll try to identify some examples. Okay. Where they use SysID, where you want the matching. Execute this query if group name is this. But in the background, they mention the sys ID. Not business. Okay, let's go to the portals. In the portals, we have this thing, right? I'll show you. Portals here. LNG portal. And if you open this and you scroll down, दवाई ले लेना अपना दवाई ठीक है. If you scroll down, see they're using the sys ID here. There's a container by this name sp_container. There's a table. The table has a sys ID like this. Now, if you change the table name from sp_container_containers, sys ID will always save. In this case, there is no impact of changing the table name in the my code. Clear? So that is the purpose that we are using the sys ID. See here also they use a sys ID. SP instance. See, there's some SP instances there. Sys ID cannot become in any of the reporting. You cannot get your reports on the basis where sys ID as a column you want. It is not possible. There's some correction, there's some modification required in the background. Via that you can get the sys ID in the reports. Otherwise you cannot. Let me show you one example here. Let's go here. User underscore. Okay, let me open this. Okay, now let me see this thing. Okay. If you stuck anywhere, I'm not able to find that record in ServiceNow. Try to search the record with the sys ID. Okay, that is the best technique. That is the tips always given to the. See, you can do the search on the sys ID. Put the sys ID. Let me say sys ID contain 23. Or not start. Let's say contains. Run. I'm just giving a put it here. See, so these are the users whose sys ID contain this word. Now you have a question, Atul, can I bring sys ID on this list view? No, you cannot bring. Not able to bring. That is a ACL in the background, and ServiceNow never recommend to change that ACL. Okay, so that is the thing which I will be putting here. That sys ID is required because sys ID is a unique. Atul Grover, two users with the same user ID. How I can differentiate between these two? Only via the sys ID I can differentiate. Okay, so these things are be required here. Now let's go back to our yesterday part that is called the client-side scripting. Okay, any doubt till this point? Anyone?
No, sir, no.
Harsha, Dhanashri, Tanvi, Arun, Vishwajit, Prashant.
No, sir.
Okay, good. Okay. Now I come into the client-side glide classes. Means we're still on the client side only, not on the server side. But did we do this? No, we don't done this thing yesterday. Okay. There's an important class that is called the G_form. Okay. This is widely used to bring any data on the form page. On the form, if you want to bring any data, you can use G_form. Okay. How this work for us? Let me scroll down. This one. Where create one variable G_form dot get value. Okay, let me go here and open any client script. Let me go. Let try to just do this thing. And let so that was the UI action. Okay, let me open any of the client script. Incident table. Okay, let's check make mandatory. Okay, even though it is false now, but we can check. On change make mandatory. Let me open this. Let it be load. No. Okay, this one. So you can see here. There is a function called the on change, controlled old and new value. If old value is equal to null value, then do nothing, return 0. But if this is not the case, then g.form set mandatory. Short description. Like if I say g_form dot. See, these many things I can do. Add error message. Welcome in my. Okay, means you need to just know that how many classes are there, how many functions are there. G_form dot. This one. Clear option, clear value, disable attachment, enable attachment, flash. These things we are doing with the drag and drop as well. We are doing with the properties as well. And these things you can do with the normal thing as well. Let's try this option. Okay. Let's see what happens. And make it as a active. Field priority, on change priority. Okay. Okay. Let go here and let try this thing. It says if I change the priority, my short description become mandatory and I should get a pop-up message as well. I'm hoping that it should work for us. Okay. See, welcome in my world and short description become mandatory. Clear fundamental from where these codes are coming. These are coming either from the client script or from the. If you click on submit, then you will see that it becoming the UI action of the business rule. But before that, it is coming from the. See, I just changed this thing. Let me reload this page again. Again, we will observe it. What we mentioned the code here is that if I change the priority value, then my short description become mandatory. Let's see if it is mandatory or not. Okay, it's already mandatory. Maybe some other script is running. Okay, and I said I should get a message welcome in my world. Let me change the priority. I'm getting a message welcome in my world. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So these are the small functions. You can try it at your end. Maybe I can add just one more thing. Dot disable attachment. Let's see what will happen now. Okay, and everything is executing on the on change. Now I have this one option. Let's see. Let's reload the page. According to me, this option should be out now when I change the priority. See, this has been gone. Okay, so that is the beauty of service now. Things are already given to you. You just know that how to utilize that part. Okay, you can see here that this has been disabled now. Let me remove it. Otherwise, I will be confused. Now I want to make this 2 as a Printed part. Where is the comment? Either I can use this thing. Okay, and save this. Now if I come here, so G underscore form basically used as a client class to bring something, to do some value addition, value operations on the form level. Okay, one more thing, if you notice, like if I go here on this part, you can see the state, right? You can see the state: new, in progress, on hold, reserved, closed, cancelled. Actually, these are the name given just for the reference to the user. Actually, in the background, this state has been stored with the number. If you see here, if I show you on this part, see G underscore form set a value state 6. 6 means it can be a closed one. Let's try to do this thing. Go here. And now I mention something. G underscore form dot set a value. Okay, means I'm setting some value where I want to put the value of state, and what value I want to put 5. Okay, now save. What it will do when I change the priority, the state will be changed automatically. Let me do that part. Mainly this G underscore form use a lot of time we use. Okay. See, it's showing as a 5 here. It insert a new value as a 5. Maybe I can put 6 here. Let's make a change. Maybe 5 does not exist, but 6 exists. Or we are doing the wrong part here. What is the code here? In the double quotes it should come, and we mention the single quote. It means it is inserting a new value. So one more example we see here, that in case you want to add any value in the dropdown on the runtime, you can do by the set value. Let me save this. Reload this page. Now first of all, see this. Okay, good. Now I change the priority. Again, it's showing 5. Why 5? Let me do the 6. Or 5 does not exist. Or we are putting in the wrong value. Let's see the scripting part. In double quotes, that's fine for me, comma. Let me write. I'm just trying with you guys, nothing else I'm doing new here. So that you can understand when you do the scripting how these things actually work. See, now it's go to the resolve. Right? So by this way, you can do the set value as well. If you want to set any value, you remember that we done the data lookup. On the basis of the caller, my assignment group is coming. Yes or no? Right? We done that part, right?
Yes.
You can do the same thing with the scripting as well. But in that case, you have to write a very big script, which go in the background and check the user sysid and the group sysid, user sysid and the group sysid. And you have to mention if G underscore form dot user ID is equal to able tutor, then assign this thing. So that is the one example which you can do with the coding, but we prefer to go with the data lookup part. Okay, so G underscore form is one of the important which you have to be remember. Okay. Now the question is that from where this 6 is coming, that is your homework. Open this and see in which table it has been defined and see what is the value of this state. Even though you will not believe, these also have the same value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that only. check those things. Because tomorrow, if someone say resolve instead of resolve puts resolves, my code will fail. But in the background, the number will be always same. There is a background configuration we have done that part. So from these things, you can imagine that how strongly ServiceNow build up the logic in the background. How much flexible they are. You can change the name. It will not impact anything in the background until unless you will change the code of that particular resolve state. Okay. Now, if I come here, this is the one of the topic which we want to be discussed. Then the same goes. So you can see here, get a unique value. If you read this book, you will definitely enjoy. Believe me, if I read this book and I get some knowledge, I'll arrange a class for you guys. Okay. Now the next one, that is called the glide user. For the interview perspective, at least read 2 to 3 lines about these classes: glide form, glide record, glide user. Okay, glide user, what is the meaning of the glide user? Basically, to work on the user's operation, to work on the user data. Okay, and the same thing we can do here. Let me do here G_user. G_user dot. Only these many functions are there. You want to get the first name, you want to get the full name. I want to get the full name. I can get which full name? All. You can do that one, but the function has been changed to the user, not the form, because this time I am working on the user record. If you come here, G_user is a class all about the attribute of the user. It is not the biggest class. You can see here, it is not the biggest one, right? Only 8 or 10 operations or functions are there which you can utilize or use. If you want to get the user ID like this, put one variable and store that value in the variable and print it like this. If I write this, I pick up this code, put it here, and let's put the alert G_form error message and put that variable name. Let's see if it is work for me or not. Save it and let reload this. Name here this, and let me change the impact now. See, it is showing the sys ID of this caller. Why? Because if you go here, we say in the background that it work on the sys ID. It brings that user ID. If I want to get the full name, I have to put one more code here. Now, if I this one, let me put, and now change the some different sys IDs coming now. Okay, so G_user help you to get the user detail. See, in this example, sys ID variable will be sys ID only. That is the important point. That is why I said that sys ID is always important, because if you migrate this user from one instance to another instance, your code will never be impacted, because sys ID will be same for user in the all instances. And that's the tip they have given here. When getting a user record, it is best practice to get the user sys ID rather than a name to obtain the record. This is because there's a chance user may have same name where the sys ID of the user will be unique one. Clear? If you put the get full name like this, and you can put the alert like this, it will work for you. Same thing will work for you when you do the business rule as well. Okay, we'll come on that point as well now. Okay, till this point, any doubt, any question? Anyone? Okay. Silence is risky, guys. Believe me. Now let's go to the next topic, that is called the business rule. Where is the agenda for this one? Okay. Few more things which we have like this. We have a glide system, GS record. Okay, that we can take 21. This one, which we discussed yesterday, right? This one, get GS dot get user, get full name, email ID, location, everything you can do that part. Nothing much to be worried on that front. Okay. If you want to put any error message which we just discussed, you can put the error message as well, and you can use this error message either in the client script or either in the UI action of the business rules as well. Okay. Now I come to little more, one more topic here, called the business rule. Okay. Till now, the things which we notice is we working only and only on the form level. I just change the value and it worked for me. Clear? Now there's a concept called the business rule. Here you can go system definition business rule. What this mean basically? Any activity which you want to perform once your data has been stored in the database, then you can use the business rule. Let me show you something on the incident table. These business rules are the pure server side scripting. Okay, but the thing is that, which is important, the way client script work for the 4 sections: on sell, edit, on change, on submit, on load, in the same manner my business will also work. How? Let me open anything here. Calculate cost, clear on hold reserve. Okay, this one, let's take this thing. It is a business rule. It means when you submit, when you click on the update, then this logic will be work for us. Simple things: name, application, table name, and all the things you have to mention. Okay, because they are not using the advanced option here. If I click on the advanced, let me open anything which is in the advanced as well. I can show the code. Just to see that where the advanced is true, so that I can show you the code easily. I have a lot of things which we can discuss. Advanced this, duplicate color, cascade closer, change state to the insert. It's false. Sorry. Even though in the try, if you are a good developer, try to use the inbuilt conditions, operators in business rule as well before you go for the actual coding part. Okay, let's say auto close. If I have something here to show you, or I can use the incident query as well. This one. Okay. Advanced means that I need to be write some scripting to perform the operation, which I cannot do. What it contains, when to run. Important point to be understand. There are the 4 sections: before, after, asynchronous, and display. Before means before this value store into the database, I want an error message. That is called the before. After, the value has been stored in the database and now I want to be updated. Let's take example. I mentioned my date of birth in the form. Okay, And once the data has been saved, then I want to show the age. That is called the after one. Asynchronous means if on a given point of time my 5 or 6 business rules are working, they work in the asynchronous purpose. Means if I say that they should be work in the background and give me the results later on. And display means that if you want to display any value on the form level, which you want to bring it from the database, then you can use the display as a business rule. Again, from the development perspective, from the interview perspective, this question has been asked. When to run the business rule, then you should tell these things. And then you can go here before insert, before update, before delete, before query. If I say no, after insert, after update, after delete, after query. No. I want asynchronous. After insert, asynchronous, insert, update, delete, or this. Or if you click on the display, nothing will come, because display is just to want to show something on the form level. So that is the purpose of the business rule. And here the condition when you want to run. I want to run if my incident state is on hold. Then I want to run this business rule. Okay, try to mention as many things as you can define here. Okay, action. What action you want? Do you want to set any field value? You can use here. You want to put any message? You can put it. If you want to click or you want to put any action, you can put it here. Again, the coding is required. And if you go to the advanced, here they write the complete code. Oh my goodness. They're calling the function called the auto close incident. And see gs.get property. GS means glide system. I'm calling the system property. Glide date and time. There is a function available date and time. Let me go little up and show you. Let me go little more up. This one. As I told now. We've done this server side. This one they're talking. Glide system, date, element, aggregate. That's quick. Okay. So they're using these particular things. And then they're writing their code here. Incident state, add query. GR is a glide record. Incident table capture kiya. GR dot. Yes, please, Ashwini. Sorry, Ashwarya.
Can you just explain on the before script when it can be used?
Okay. Let me take an example here. Suppose you are filling a form for your train booking. Okay. You mentioned that there is a one infant is traveling with you. Okay. You mentioned that his or her date of birth. When you click on the book ticket button, you get a message. As infant is traveling with you, we will not allocate the upper seats to you. That is before you insert the record in the database. Do you want to continue? Yes or no? Maybe some parents prefer, if I'm traveling with my infant, I should get an upper seat so that I can keep it for the everything on the top and can relax easily. That is before you insert. If you click OK, only then the record will be inserted in the database. If you click cancel, it will not insert. That is the purpose of the.
It's a kind of field validation.
Not field validation, I can say, but the actual meaning is that your value, your record is not saved in the database unless you will confirm that you are happy with the solution or not. Let's take an example. Before we kick off these classes, many people say, Atul, we want a demo class. Okay. I said, okay, I can give you the demo class. Once they confirm after the demo class, yes, Atul, we are happy with the training. Only then I will add their name in my attendance list. Before that, I will not add. I will not create their account in the service now. That is the before. Another part is that, sorry guys, I did not provide any demo classes. If you want to join, please join. And I directly put their account in the service now and give them. Anyone else, any doubt, any question? She drop off. Okay. Okay. So this is the thing which you can write in the coding part. And believe me, this is just a 1 or 2 days phobia in your mind. Oh, it is a big one. Because I never tried, so I think that it is a big one. But if I read this, I can tell you that what this particular function is doing now. If you want to open this record, click on the control and right click. It will open the record for you in the another window. That what is the actual code has been written here. Why? Maybe I can say something this or alt. Alt and right click. Why it is not opening? How to open? See, even though this is open with the sysid, and this is the code mentioned in the incident state. Okay, so we don't need to be worried about this basics one, which is given by ServiceNow. Leave it. It is not for me. For my purpose is that I should know that how to write this code specifically. Rest thing you can use easily. A lot of function, lot of classes given by ServiceNow out of the box. See, if you see this code, all things are be like either in the black or in the blue color. It means these are be given by ServiceNow. I did not write anything. Resolve is a state given by ServiceNow. Incident state is a function given by ServiceNow. But the only thing which is be required for me to understand the logic that how this has been written it. Okay. So that is the purpose of the business rule here. Okay. And you can write your code in this section. Clear? Any other doubt, anyone? Tanvi, Dhanashri, Harsha.
It's clear, sir.
I am a big fan of this book now. I will definitely try to read this. So I done till this part. UI policy, I read it till this point. Okay. Then let me go to the UI action here. Business rules. We are on the business rules, right? 72. This one, which we just discussed. I'll just explain you in the book as well. This one. Insert, update, delete, and query. Before, after, asynchronous is basically for the scheduled jobs. What is a scheduled job? Mainly that I want every night, every midnight, a report should execute or a query should execute which update the incident age or incident time 1 hour plus. That is the purpose of the scheduled jobs. And we write the code for the scheduled jobs as well. Again, I'm not going in the deep dive because otherwise you guys will get a lot of confusion in the mind. The best thing which I can give is this thing, that these are basics which is required for everyone to understand. From the interview perspective, remember these 8 points. And never ever tell that business rules are client-side scripting. If you say this, you are fired. Business rules are only and only server-side scripts. Remember this thing. UI action can be both client and server, but business rules never be. Okay. So this thing, if you read, you will get little more idea about this thing. So like they are calling the function here. Okay. Many good things are there. So what they're saying, execute rule, current, previous, current dot impact one. This thing, I want to bring out all the changes or all the incidents where the impact is one for me as of now. So I can do this thing. Then UI action, which we discussed 2 days back. On the form button, context menu, banner, and here you can also mention the complete code here. Means UI action and the business rules are those two things where the scripting is actually required. You cannot skip without scripting. Okay, that is the two places which is required for the scripting part. Current state is to current.update. Set the record URL current like this. Okay. Now any doubt, any question? I can scroll a lot. There are 200 pages I can scroll, but still I don't want to be going that more detail. Yes, guys, let me come to this part. Yes, Aishwarya, any doubt?
No, all okay.
Vishwajit. Tanavi. Yes, you're speaking, Vishwajit. You're saying something.
Yeah, so mainly we use business rule, right? In the developer or admin, we can say, in the ServiceNow developer.
Business rules definitely we use. There is a one component only. In the business rule, we always write some code only. That is the one thing which I want to tell you here. It is not necessary, but business rules are meant only for the coding. That is the thing.
Okay.
Okay. There's a many other points are there. Let me put script include. Like this, I have a script includes. These are the Ajax code. They'll be writing and they'll be calling this code somewhere. Okay. Okay, let me complete this question answer first, then I'll come to my agenda. Okay, Tanvi. Any doubt?
No, sir. Clear.
Ashwini.
No, sir.
Harsha.
No, sir. Clear.
Dhanashri.
Yes, sir. Good.
Arun.
No, sir, doubt on this. But again, if you do the alt tab with the business rule over there, and there was the when you search for the business rule, how it is different from the other one? There's another section called metrics.
This one metric is the okay. Metric is basically used to what I can say to break down some systems. Okay, to get some other value. And why they mention the business rule? Because these business rules are specifically designed for the metric purpose. It is kind of a new module in ServiceNow metric.
Okay.
That is what I told in the day one. More you explore the tool, more you will come to know. I can continue this training for another 2 months. There's a lot of things are there, but again, it's spoon feeding, which I don't want. You learn, you think, and you can go forward. Because maybe the thing which I told cannot be asked in the interview, but maybe the things which you read can be asked in the interview. And believe me, being a fresher, these things doesn't matter much. For you matter the main points: UI policy, UI action, business rule, data lookup, data policies, SLA, email configuration. These are be required for you to clear the interview. Rest, more depth you can go, you can win the heart. Okay. Last, Prashant, any doubt, any question?
No, so
Okay. Arun, for you specifically, because I'm sure that you are like me only, who don't like the coding part, and we already on the experience of more than 10 years. For you to be just to get the basic understanding, the definition of these terms, that is required for you, Arun. But people who want to build their career in the development, they have to be read this book. At least read 50, 80 pages. If I scroll up from the agenda perspective, let me tell you how many pages you have to be reading. And it is completely a habit now. If you start reading this book, you will be surprised. Oh my God, let me read more. अरे एक मिनट देना यार, एक कॉल आ रहा है पीएमसी से. Okay. So these things. So what we are discussing basically for you guys, at least read up to 70, 80 pages. UI actions, client side server calling, these things, because these will give you the basic idea. Like under chapter number 5, you can read business rule, UI action. These two are very important point, which we already discussed, but still you can do access control, ACL value, that how you can utilize ACL values or how we can define the ACLs. Okay, so these things we do on the high level side because these are the advanced topic. Script include schedule, jobs, background. If you can read, good. Otherwise you can leave it, no problem. That these things you will learn with the experience only, not with my theoretical part or your theoretical part. Okay. So with this, let me go here and mark this as a complete. Okay. Thank you so much that I done the scripting part first of in my career now. Now we will discuss about the ACL part. Okay. ACL basically stand for the access control list. I don't want you to enter into my bedroom. If you come to my house, I will put a lock. But my parents can enter. My parents can open my wardrobe, but they cannot open my secret wardrobes where I have my documentation or maybe some property documents or all the things part. How this thing can be defined? These things are coming from the ACL, access control list. From the interview perspective, it can be asked that what is ACL? Then you can say ACL means a way to restrict the user to see the data or see the table. In short, ACL will be used on the two places, table level or the record level. I want to show you the table, but I don't want to show you the specific field on that table. Like suppose I told you, okay, guys, create a project for me. In that project, create a ACL on the fees. Nobody can see that fees other than me. So you put an ACL on the top of that. And to do any change in the ACL, we require the elevated rule. How this works specifically, let me go here and impersonate as a system admin. Okay. I log in as system admin because when you purchase ServiceNow instance, ServiceNow give only 1 or 2 users the elevated role. Elevated role means a role which is given to you for a specific time period to perform a specific action. Like in the marriage, suppose the marriage function has been started and you want to spend 200 or 500 rupees. You will not go to your father or mother, can I spend this much? They already give you the authority that during the marriage function, you can spend the amount up to 10,000 rupees. That is the elevated role they have given to you. As soon as marriage function over, you are not authorized to spend 10,000 without their permission. Okay, so now if I go here, ACL, and you can go here, this one, system security. This is the security part, and click here. Okay, these are the ACLs has been defined by ServiceNow. 20,000 ACL. Can you imagine? 20,000 ACL. Let me show you one ACL on the incident table. Now you are able to, we're not able to see the new button here. Right? Why? Because till now this user don't have the privileges. How he or she can get privilege? Click here and click on the he don't have a privileges rights. And I don't. Anyone remember the what I can say? System admin password of their instance? Anyone of you? Anyone? Tanvi, Harsha, Dhanashi, Arun? Or let me reset the password, no problem. Manage instance password. Okay, this is the password for admin. Good, I got it. Wait, let me log in with the same. Log out, and now I log in with the admin. Just to show you that how these privileges work actually. Okay, yeah. Now I'm here as a this thing. ACL. Click here. And now you can see no new button is there. But now if you go here, I'm getting the option called the elevator role. In the interview, if they ask, you have to tell that to make any changes in the ACL, a user should have an elevated role. If you tell this thing, the other person will understand, yes, you know the service now in depth. Because generally people forget why new button is not appearing. Because they don't have elevated role. Let me click on the elevated here. And you can see here, elevated role is the session specific. If you log out or if the timeout done, privilege over. I'll show you. Click and give OK. Now this page will be reloaded again. And now you will be able to see the new button here. Why? Because this is coming from the elevated role. If I log out with the person, the elevation role will be gone. And you can see here this log button. It means this user is logged in as the elevated role now. He has a super security. He has a superpower. He can delete anything now. Any changes he can do in the ACL part, in the security part. And that is the reason this rule is not given to everyone in the system. In the actual official instances, only few people, 1-2 people only have a ACL rule, not everyone. Now, if I click on this, let me open the incident. Anything is there? Okay, now you can see here. Open this. ठीक है, देखो यार. Type, or let me go here. Let's click on the new. Okay. Oops. To my network. Okay, right. Click on the new here. Okay. Type means where you want to put your ACL. Generally, either we go for the record, either we go for the UI pages, either go for the these things. Mainly we go for the record level. Believe me, very true on that part. I have no idea about all this 5 or 6. I just have idea about the record. This graphical graph QL is added by ServiceNow, I guess in the Paris release. These 2 or 3 also added in the ServiceNow latest. But for you guys as the developer, the basic fundamentals required, because very less time we do any changes in the ACL part. We always use the out of the box. So I put the record here. What operation you want? What operation you want to restrict? I say user cannot execute anything new. User cannot create anything new. Can only read, cannot write, cannot delete, can edit the task relationship. Means these are the things you can restrict via ACL. I know it's little difficult to understand, but it is a topic like this given by ServiceNow. So when you read these things in detail, mainly we use these 4 things: create, read, write, and delete options. I say create. This is the beauty of this particular part, is that you can define the ACL on the system level or on the table level. If I put the star, means this ACL will be applicable for my all tables in ServiceNow. If I put anything specific, let me put Vishwajit table. Okay, in it, what this means basically that I am creating this ACL on a specific table now. That is the thing which I told, table level or the field level. Okay, so I say it's a table level. In this table, do you want to restrict any field as well? So I can do that part. If you put star, it means applicable for all fields. Or if you want to restrict only for a specific field, then you can put the like this. It means this ACL will only applicable on the actual end field of the Vishwajit table. Okay, if you want to click advanced, definitely scripting will be required. You can see here, you can write the script here. Okay. Now what this thing is basically important. The thing is that who can enter into my bedroom? Any family member with whom I have a direct blood relationship can enter into my bedroom during the function time period. In this case, I am defining a rule who can enter. Any user who has the ITL role, or any user who has the admin role, any user who has the change manager role can do this operation. Means this is the place that who can work on these things, because for the rest of the public, you are restricting, right? Let me clarify these things again. I am creating a ACL. No one can enter in my house. This is the no one can enter in my house. Okay. But if this is the case, that who can enter in your house? Right? If you are saying no one can enter in my house, that agree. But who can enter? Tell me those points as well. Only the person with whom I have a blood relationship. My father, my mother, my sister, that's all. Even not my wife as well, because I don't have a blood relationship with her. But my kid is allowed because I have a blood relationship with him. So these things I mentioned it here, that what type of role you are allowing to make or to use this ACL or to change as per this function. Clear हुआ point यहाँ पे? So you can just double click here and I can say ITL role, or I can say ITL admin, like this. So a user who has the ITL role can create a record in Vishwajit table. Otherwise, no one can do that part. This is the purpose of the ACL. A small description, but important from the interview perspective. You should remember these things. You can say type can be these things. Processor, record, REST endpoint, all the things. And these, remember this point, that I'm applying on the table level or the record level. Then you can easily explain the things to the particular activity. Okay, if you want to write the code, you can write the code here as well. Nothing much is there. The same thing, G underscore form, GS underscore this you can do. I need to declare the variables first. Okay. Now any doubt, any question, any clarification? Anyone? Tanvi, Dhanashi, Harsha, Prashant, Arun. Yes, guys, tell me.
So this ACL is about the one step above the role, right? Remember when we started the role part, right?
Yes.
Like when we asked everyone to once Harsha has done the role creating for me, then I can do it for the other people, right? So they go and log in. So it's like one.
Via simple role, you can create user, you can update user. But if you want to modify anything in the ACL level, in the security level, you can do only with the admin who has the elevated role. Otherwise, you cannot do. If I click it again and remove it, click OK. I'm not interested to save this. See, the lock option has been gone. The new option has been gone from here. I cannot make any changes, even though this has been written by me only. Still, I cannot change anything here. Why? Because I don't have the elevated privilege now. Clear?
Yeah.
For the interview perspective, remember this elevated rule, and it is a session specific. These 2-3 words are required. If I am taking interview, if my candidate tell me these points, I can understand, yes, he has the knowledge of the ACL as well. Because rest things are just a filtration condition, all these things. And that is why I always insist, before you start practice, read the out of the box ACLs, out of the client scripts, out of the business rules, so that you can get an idea on that front as well, that how this can be defined. Okay. Clear? Any doubt, any question? Yes, Ashwini. Sorry, Aishwarya.
Okay, access control and business role scripts are the functions used as identical, or the scripts that is used in business role can be used as an access control as well.
Yes, you can use that part. See, the fundamental is same. The operations will be same. I don't want my user to change the value on the form. I can do
So
it via
it's our
business rule,
option to
and I
use
can put the
either.
AC. No, see,
Sorry.
business will basically work when you want to insert any data, when you want to update any data in the database. ACL purpose is not the same. ACL means I am not giving you rights to click on the update button. That is the purpose of the ACL. Don't be confused. One thing is saying go into the database. That is business rule. Another point is saying you cannot enter the data in the form because you're not allowed. You're not authorized. That is the ACL. In your office, can you see anyone else salary slip? You cannot see because you are not authorized for the same. But you can see anyone else. Employee ID, employee number, email ID, their manager, their hierarchy, you can see because you are authorized for the same. So two different ACL work in these two different columns, two different tables. Clear, Aishwarya?
Yes, okay.
Okay, good. Okay, any other doubt, guys? Any other doubt, question or clarification? Okay, no doubt. Let me stop the recording here.